Okay, Georgia Tech head coach Josh Pastner. Coach, if you could open us up with some remarks before we take questions.
Yep. No, got to give, first of all, give Notre Dame great credit. Coach Bray is just, what a great coach. Just a great guy, great coach. They got a great staff, great players. They're just a really good basketball team. Look, being 0-4 in ACC play stinks. Nobody likes that. We don't like it. I don't like it. The players don't like it. We've played, we've had a couple chances. We just got to be able to get over the hump. And I believe in our guys. We're still a little bit of a work in progress, but we'll get there. We'll get there. I thought the crowd tonight was great. Gave us a great energy. All the fans were really involved, and I really wanted to win for our young men. I wanted to obviously win for Georgia Tech, and really wanted to win for the fans because they've been outstanding this year. They've just done their job. We had some opportunities. Just all you can ask for is a chance to win the game, and we had that. And we had some good looks late, and then we had unfortunately Debo hit a big free throw there, and then unfortunately the second one missed. But look, in our 4 ACC games, we just have not been real effective offensively, especially if you look at the percentages. And right now we don't have an inside presence to score with our, we're not getting anything from our 5 men in the paint. So we're playing small at times, but when we do play the, bigger, we're not really scoring a lot inside. So, we're going to have to score some from the perimeter. I thought we got some really good looks from 3 and just, and some from good guys, from really good shooters. They just didn't fall. And when that happens, it just makes it tough. And so, but we still had our chances. I think we were up 61-57, and you got to give Goodwin, he had a tough shot, curl shot. I got to watch the film, how he got open in that middle there. I thought Debo was guarding him. And then 61-59, Jordan Usher was guarding Wesley. I thought his hands was down on that, and got to give Wesley a lot of credit. Wesley hit some big shots for him. He's really good. He's a really good freshman, but we did a good job guarding the 3 for the most part. And then just in overtime, they outscored us 10-6, and that was the difference in the game.
Okay, questions for Coach Pastner. If you have a question, please use the raise hand function in Zoom. We'll call on people individually, and we'll start with Rod McKenzie from 247 Sports. Rod, you're muted again.
In the second half, Josh, it seemed like your guys struggled a little bit defensively, and they were beating you off the dribble. That didn't seem like you were getting any help.
No, well, you're right. We had a couple missed coverages, and then obviously we were playing small. So your 5-man, you don't have Jordan Meckley, you don't have Saab. Obviously, Rodney Howard's not there. You're just small in the paint, and you don't have any shot blocking presence. So, but that's the trade-off. When you go small, you're just playing small in this league. And if you're playing small, you got to offset that by really, making a lot of threes. And unfortunately, we're not getting that. We're not making the threes right now, which we're going to. I know we're going to. I know where it's going to happen. But we're not getting an inside presence scoring. So you size down and think, okay, let's try to get some spacing. And if you're not making the threes, then that's some of the things that you give on a penetration when a guy's there at the rim. It's just there's not that size there. But we did have a couple coverages that were not properly guarded. So we got to clean that up and get better at that, which we will. And we'll get back to work on Monday and keep working at it and keep improving. And look, we have 16 games left in the regular season of ACC play. A lot of games to play. A lot can happen. And basketball is a funny sport. It looks like the sky's falling. All of a sudden, boom, you get on a hot streak. Just like in the game, it's a game of runs. You just get over the hump and you reel off a bunch in a row. And we're capable of winning a bunch in a row. Now, we're also a team that can end up, you lose every time you play. We are also good enough to win every time we play. We just don't have any margin of error. our margin of error is at this, for this year is 0. And so you're talking every possession is so crucial because of our lack of margin of error. But with that, we are good enough to win every time we step on the floor. But because our margin of error is 0, if you don't play darn near to that perfection level of what's at stake, you could end up taking an L. And that's just the way it is this year.
Next question comes from Kelly Quinlan from Rivals.
The game seemed to really swing on. They had a 13-2 run in the second half, where you had another one of your scoreless droughts. That was the main one in the game. It was almost 5 minutes. Is there anything that can be done at that point when you get into those funks? Do you sense it? Do you? It seems like you had balls rim out there. Like it just seems like it keeps happening at the worst possible times for you guys in games. Just how do you get around that, Josh?
Yeah, Kelly, that's been unfortunately a constant theme with us this year. We've had just a scoring drought, a long drought every single time we've played in just key areas. And in a couple of those times, Kelly, and you can sense it. I can sense it. I feel it. I know it. You're trying to call some plays. You're trying to get the ball into DeVoe's hands. You're trying to do something to get to Jordan. It'd be, you just, and then a couple of times we got some open shots and we just aren't making them. And that's right. As simple as it sounds and elementary and as basic as it sounds, as beautiful the game of basketball is, it's a beautiful game. It's also a very simple game, and it's a make and miss game. And you make shots, things just move much more, smoother. And right now we're just not shooting the ball from 3. And so Kelly, when you don't really have that inside presence where you're throwing to, you're just trying to space the floor a little bit. I thought we got a little bit one-on-one at times in the second half during that drought. But, during that, Mike DeVoe's got a couple of times the one-on-one, it's with Michael DeVoe or Jordan Usher driving, and just, we're really struggled scoring. And so you got those guys with the ball and they get into the paint and you're hoping they make a play for you at that point. We just got to keep getting better. We got to keep working and keep shooting the ball. And when we're open from 3, we're due to get hot. Goodness gracious, if there's any team in America that's due to get hot from 3, it's Georgia Tech. Maybe when we go back to school, it'll be good for us, be back in class and, just hitting all cylinders in the mind for all the academics, for all the classes at Georgia Tech that will get us, just get us going again and get really hot from 3. We are very due for that to happen.
Next question from Ken Segura from the AJC.
I guess tooth that in for as long as Rodney's out. Is that kind of what the X factor is, I guess, to get this team going, to hit from 3?
Well, I think Saba can score down there. I do, and obviously Jordan Mecca's struggled a little bit scoring. I do think Saba's got a good jump hook. He wasn't good defensively today, and that's why I took him out. But there's no question our offense is going to have to come from our perimeter guys this year. I mean, that's just the reality of it. Our perimeter guys are going to have to score. But part of it, Ken, is 9 turnovers between Michael and Jordan. That's a lot. 14 in the game. That's just too many. Even in a 45-minute game, if you're down to 9 or 10, that's a different deal, just having those possessions back. So if we're not, shooting at such a high clip, we just can't turn it over. We got to get as many shots up at the rim as we can get. So, but for right now, Ken, and probably for the rest of the season, we're going to need to make shots. We're going to need to make threes. Our best offense is going to be, we're going to have to make threes. I mean, and we still got to get to the paint. We are shooting the ball well from the free throw line, really at a high clip from the free throw line during ACC play. We're just not shooting the ball well. And within our confines of our team, we're going to have to, make threes. Within the ball being shared. Again, like I said, I thought we got a little bit of some one-on-one. I got to watch the film. I did think we got a little one-on-one too much in the second half, but we just got that, as Kelly mentioned, we got in that drought, and you got Mike DeVoe with the ball at the top of the key. Jordan Usher, we get him the ball at the top of the key to drive the guy, and sometimes we get a little over dribble. But when you're stuck scoring, you're trying to get to those guys the ball in their hands just in a sweet spot and have them make a play for you.
Next question from Patrick Canaro from Ramblin' Sports.
Coach, they outscored you by 14 in the paint. That's pretty hard to overcome even on a great shooting night. But on the positive side, especially in the first half, a couple of your young guys sort of looked like they were following their offensive instincts a little bit. And I'm talking about Debo and Tristan. Are you looking for more from them in the weeks to come from scoring?
Well, Debo had some great looks from three. He was 1 for 5 from three today. We need him he's got to be a better shooter than that. And he is. I mean, Michael DeVoe was 1 for 6 and Jordan Usher was 2 for 7. That's 4 for 18 between those three guys, and they had really good looks. I thought Tristan did some good things. Miles came in, hit a big bucket. Davon played well. Kyle's been really steady. Khalid had some great looks from three. I really like our group. And the paint points a couple of times was, we didn't do a good job on our coverages. And then, and also part of that is when you don't have you're big in there, there's not a presence at the rim because we're, when Khalid's your 5-man, we're small. We're just really small at the rim. And as everybody knows, I mean, our 5 men here for 5 straight years has been first team all defense, and we've led the league in shot blocking pretty much every year. Ben Lammers both years, James Banks both years, and Moses Wright last year. So this is, and I thought Jordan Mecca could beat some of that. He showed some signs of that, but he didn't. Today he wasn't getting off blocking shots, and so we really just sized down. And when that happens, you're awfully small in the paint for the ACC. But that's the trade-off. If you're going to go small, you've got to be able to make threes on the other end to make, to kind of offset it. And we're not shooting the ball well from 3 right now.
Okay, time for a couple more for Coach. We'll take the last 2 that are in queue. We'll start with one from Kelly and then finish up with one from Ken. So Kelly, go ahead.
Josh, Notre Dame's obviously a program that you've patterned yourself after, and they had a very veteran team other than the point guard out there for most of the game. Is that where you get into sort of the funk of having this mixed team that's not quite veterans mixing with new guys that don't have as much experience, and it just isn't quite gelling yet?
Yeah, Kelly, I love our guys. I love our group. We got great young men, great guys, and they play hard for me all the time. And they give an honest effort every time they step on the floor, and they care. They want to win. We just, right now we're not all clicking on all cylinders. Part of that is we can say what we want. Part of it is just we're just not playing well offensively. And part of that is again, maybe can we do some different things? I don't like over dribbling the ball. I just don't like that. Everyone knows that I love playing through the elbow and the cutting and moving. But part of that is you need a little bit of a presence too, because after the handoff or the ball screen, you need to be able to throw it inside for a quick hook or for a score, for a lob. And we're just not getting that right now. So we've had to do a little more dribble drive on some things. But I think part of that, Kelly, is we're just, I've said it from the beginning, you got to get old and stay old. And unfortunately, we got 2 older guys in DeVoe and Jordan Usher. Khalid's an older guy. And then our 4th older guy, Bubba Parham, he's obviously been out and he didn't play today. And then we've got a lot of young guys in all those other spots. And it's just, we're a work in progress. But I think I really believe we're gonna get on a run, and we've played tough schedule, and maybe I'm just a guy that looks at the glass as overflowing, but I really believe we're close to getting on a run. I know it doesn't count for anything, but we're close. We just got to get over the hump. We're due to get hot from 3. We're just due to get hot from 3. At some point here, we got to get on a string where we're just making a bunch of threes.
Last question from Ken Segura.
I'm curious kind of what led to Tristan getting the time that he did today.
Tristan has practiced well. He earned it. He earned it today. He's had some great practices and been getting better, and has been an everyday guy and just doing what we're asked. And I thought he came in and did a nice job. Thought he had some great looks and had a couple that rimmed out, but he's just got to keep staying with it every single day, and he's going to be a good player for us.